Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming out today. I'm Chaesong. I have the pleasure of working with Annabelle, Simran, Tim, and Cynthia as a director of Bruit, which is the first piece that you're going to see. The conversation around the remnants of a lifelong partnership was what was happening in the rehearsal room. And it was a challenging one because it was both spectral in that there were a lot of layers and also very much intertwined and knotted. So what you will see on stage is our experimentation of finding a balance between disparate and interconnected elements of love, care, also grudge, and what is remaining after a lifelong relationship. So I hope you enjoy our experimentation on stage.
You Please Do Me by Annabelle Wachtel. Scene 1, Lights Up. Inouï by Walter Richard Singer is depicted on the back wall. The set and the actors mimic the painting. Peter, our protagonist, is sitting at the kitchen table, leaning back in his chair, cigar in hand and against his lips. A half-empty glass of whiskey sits at the edge of the table. There are prominent bags under his eyes. Leslie is leaning onto a piece of cabinetry on which lays the beloved telephone, from which she's currently calling Sophie, her best friend. Leslie's talking to Sophie on the phone. Though unintelligibly, and though she's saying words, it sounds like only murmurs from the audience. Peter taps his cigar and in the middle of the table. He breaks the false silence.
Leslie is always on the phone. Always calling, always ranting, always blabbering.
Leslie's murmurs go fully formed and loud and fast.
Because you know, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That's exactly what I told him.
Leslie's words fade back out into murmurs as Peter begins to speak again.
Though the job of a husband is to love his wife unconditionally, the love we have left for each other is merely existing.
Peter puts out his cigar.
She only stays with me because she knows no one else would put up with her.
So when he
And I only stay with her because I know no one else would put up with her.
So when he approached the cashier, of course she gave him attitude. He's so ignorant.
Leslie's on the phone 8 hours a day. No matter if I'm sleeping, working, or if I need that little bit of silence everyone desires every so often.
He releases for his glass of whiskey. He takes a sip.
When Leslie calls, I drink. I drink to forget she calls. Rants and blabbers. The only time I get a break is when I'm at work. Conducting subways is a break from Leslie, a break from reality. Shooting down the tunnels, feeling the thump of the tracks, not knowing whether I'm feeling the train's percussion or my own heartbeat. That right there, that is silence.
Silence. The stage has gone completely dark, completely silent, except for one single spotlight on Peter and the sounds of a subway car thumping along the tracks. Thump, thump, thump.
I feel completely at ease in my secret affair with the darkness. She takes my mind off Leslie, that noise, that chaos of a woman. And she envelops me. She drowns me with her love, her being, and I let her. She can steal all the breath from my lungs for all I care. I love her. I love existing in her unknown. I love existing blindly. She renders me sightless. And I say thank you. today. She left me for good. She didn't even say goodbye.
Light stayed on to pitch darkness. Scene 2. Peter slams the door behind him. He just arrived from work, and he's been fired. He walks toward the liquor cabinet to grab a bottle of whiskey and his glass. Leslie sees Peter but does not acknowledge him. She is near his
He
desk.
doesn't even say anything. Sophie, you don't understand. He said my soup was bland. I put celery, I put medium to large carrot chunks, I put salt. Oh, I put salt. And I know he doesn't like pepper even though I do, but I kept telling myself that I was making the soup for him, so I left out the pepper.
Peter brings both glasses and bottles of
You and I both know it's the pepper that makes it good, but he refuses to have it my way, so I suffer drinking the equivalent of the Dead Sea. Only for him would I do such a thing, only for him, but oh, God forbid he says anything decent about my soup. God forbid.
Leslie is always on the phone, always calling, always ranting, always blabbering.
He pours some whiskey into the glass. Half empty though, it makes him feel better about himself and his drinking habits. He checks the glass to make sure he didn't pour too much. Then takes a swig. He then lights a cigar. He looks at the audience as if feeling judged.
I've been separated from the darkness, and now I have to live with her? Huh. Yeah. Two problems call for two solutions.
He brings us both a glass of whiskey and a cigar to his lips, about to drink and smoke at the same time. Really joking with the audience. He shakes his head, puts the cigar down, then gulps down the rest of whatever is left in his glass, and slams down on the table. No longer joking.
Peter, bring me a bowl of nuts. I'm starving, for God's sake, and bring it here. The phone wire only stretches so long.
Peter doesn't need glass of whiskey.
Get it yourself.
Give me that nuts, Peter, or I'm divorcing you.
Peter pretends to be scared by his friend. He takes a puff of the cigar out of pure illusion. Something suddenly changes in Leslie. She has noticed Peter, and she's seeing past his sarcastic tone. Leslie stares at Peter, staring into the abyss. For a moment.
Sophie, I'll call you back.
She hands it the phone.
She hung up the phone. Leslie, I was just fired this afternoon, and I need quiet. I can't have you chasing around me with all your ranting and blabbering. You know, you don't live alone. You know that, right? Every moment in this cramped apartment, I hear you shouting through the phone. Sophie is doing you a favor by listening to you. You hate everything and everyone, and no one cares, except you. You hate this neighborhood, you hate this apartment, you hate me. You hate the world, Leslie. And I hate listening to your endless shouting because it's just so sad. Leslie, you are so sad.
You know, Peter, I only call because you drink and you smoke. I only call because I can't watch you sit and stare all pathetic every day. So yes, I may call, but you sulk. So every day, Peter, you are a silent burden. You stare out the window hopelessly dreaming about a better life, the type of life I could not provide you with. So you're right. I do hate you at times because I can never do enough. There's absolutely nothing I can do to end your misery through your drunken, foggy lamps.
And on your silence envelops the stage.
So, Peter, to get this over with, I want a divorce. Seriously.
Leslie, you say that all the time.
Hey, Peter, this time I mean it. I can't live with you, and you can't live with me, and quite frankly, I would much rather spend the rest of my life alone than to spend it with you.
Leslie slammed the table. She marched over to her telephone, yanks off the cabinet sits on and smashed it to the ground. Leslie stares at Peter for a moment, fuming. Then she opens the front door and slams it shut behind her.
I've never seen such a mad woman! No. She's going to come back. I've seen this before, and she'll come back. I know her little tricks, her overreactions, and I know this situation isn't special. She's coming back.
Peter sits and looks towards a clock above him on the wall. He waits as time passes, as the seconds grow louder and louder, as his face grows redder and redder, until a single tear streams down his cheek.
It's different, isn't it?
Peter slowly stands up from his chair and gathers his half-empty glass of whiskey, the entire whiskey bottle, and his ashtray with the remnants of a smoked cigar. He sets it all down on the kitchen counter. First, he pours out the ashtray and the cigar into the garbage. Then, he takes his glass of whiskey and pours it down the drain of the kitchen sink. Then, he takes the open whiskey bottle and pours its remnants down the sink. Then, he takes the two remaining whiskey bottles that lay on a shelf above the sink, opens them both, and pours them both out into the sink at the same time. The glugging of the whiskey leaving the bottle grows louder and louder as the bottle comes closer and closer to becoming empty. Peter goes back to his seat at his now clear table. He sits. Closes his eyes. And a strange feeling comes about.
Now, with all my whiskey gone and down the drain, I have this odd feeling, this odd, really feeling. For some reason, at this very moment, there's nothing more I'd like than to dance.
Peter's imagination is turned into a reality for the audience as he describes his strongest immediate desire. Peter gets back up and slowly glides toward the door.
All I want is to see Leslie come through that door to me, into my arms.
A figment of Leslie goes back through the door into the garden.
Now I'll place my hand on her hips, and she'll place her hand on my shoulder, and we'll put our hands against each other, and slowly, bodies together. We'll dance. We will dance.
Peter and the Figment dance to the sound of the trains thumping over the train tracks. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. The sound gets quieter and quieter until the sound of the tracks disappears and the soundtrack to the dancing has become pure silence. We dance a bit more until the figment breaks loose from Peter's grasp. Softly smiles and drifts out the door. Peter is left alone, staring out the door. He walks back to the seat. A gurgling voice starts to sing, like voices, meaning some sort of chaos. Very slowly, the sound of Peter's own voice, of all things he's ever said in his lifetime, builds upon each other and has a deafening effect on Peter.
Leslie's not here, but her noise still is.
The noise grows louder.
It wasn't her. It was me.
The noise grows louder and louder, and rather than breaking down, he suddenly embraces the noise. Peter looks up towards the audience, and very softly, he smiles. Lights fade, play ends.
Another applause.
That was a beautiful play. Are you feeling good?
I am. I'm feeling good. Yes.
Successfully feeling this time on peppers?
Yes.
My favorite moment with you, Annabelle, is when you came in one day for one of our sessions and you told me about how you and your friend were chilling after school one day and she's a dancer and you were working on this piece and you mentioned how you were working on this dance moment and your dancer friend was like, oh yeah, I can help you with that, let's work on that right now. And like, you two got to, according to Annabelle, they got together in their space and like paced out that moment at the end. It changed a little bit in the process, but you paced out that moment at the end with a friend that you just had there, which you had access to this friend's talent, and you let each other have access to each other's talent. You have such a strong and flexible instinct for process. And in a space of theater that has a lot of people, that is very much about getting to the results and stuff like that, it is so refreshing to find someone as young and new to the scene as you are out here really trying to figure it out and piece it together and build a great library. and look what you freaking built. So I'm really happy to be in space with you. I can't wait to spend the next year with you and to see what else you produce and to see how else you wield the spaces that you enter. Thank you.
The first time I met you, or at least I was having a conversation with you, was in class, you were sitting across the table. I thought I was talking to a senior in college, in a master's program. And it's really dope how you sit in a room and you take in other people's work too, and you analyze other people's work. It's funny because fun fact, you say you have an English teacher vibe going on. According to her, she said. That makes me laugh too. But it also made me think that, like, you know, as an educator, we have to be a student too, right? If you gotta be a good educator, you gotta be a good student, right? And to be a good artist, you gotta be a student of life. And that's what I think about when I see you. You absorb the world. Because that's the world is everything, right? The world is what we have, and therefore that's what we have to create art. And I think that's a really dope thing, and I think you understand that. And so I just want to say that here at MCC, I'm glad you learned a lot, but you taught us a lot about growth and relationship. So I want to say congrats to you.
Welcome to the American Theater.
Reset.
So, let's go on to the next.
Yeah.
Let's set up for that. I don't wanna.
Yeah.
We'll give you a shot. We'll give you a chance.
Say that.